Nick's your buddy. Nick's your pal. Nick Menken back here with DocSports.com. Today is Saturday, October 25th, 2025, and I have a free college football play in the Big Ten between Minnesota and Iowa. Now, before I do so, Doc Sports has been in business for 53 years and running. All I ask you to do is smash that subscribe button for me and hit the like button, as it costs you guys none and it helps me out a ton. And before we get into this college football free play, let me tell you what's going on at the website. As this Saturday, I will release a 3-pack in college football coming off a 6-unit best bet winner last week with UConn money line over Boston College. They're on the road. We cashed that one in. I got a promo code you could use for this week. It is your buddy Nick. Save yourself 10% off of any daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly package over at Doc Sports under my name. Again, the promo code is your buddy Nick at checkout. All right, enough about me. Let's get you into this free play here in the Big Ten action, as Minnesota and Iowa coming off big time wins, especially Minnesota last week as they dominated Nebraska there at home and only allowed 6 points for Nebraska there. They got the win easily in that one. Now they sit 5-2. Same with Iowa. Iowa last week, they had a scare against Penn State. They just fired their head coach, James Franklin. Penn State comes into Iowa and almost wins that game outright. Iowa was able to come back and to scrape the Penn State off by one. It was 25-24 in that one. I really thought Penn State was going to win that game. Penn State ended up covering that one, and now Iowa Hawkeyes -8.5 here against a Minnesota team that the offense looked pretty good last week against that Nebraska defense here. I'm taking Minnesota with the points in my back pocket. There is no way, from what I saw last week out of Iowa, especially against Penn State and all the questions, their quarterback, especially their head coach just getting fired and barely to squeak by with a win there at home. I get it. Playing in Iowa was a very hard place to go in and pick up a win. Granted, that is why -3. I get it, and that's where the number should be. Is -3, maybe -2.5 here, but +8.5. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown and a 1.5 here. That's a little too much for this Iowa Hawkeyes team, what I saw out of them. This Minnesota team, yeah, they're coming off a high win against the Nebraska ranked opponent there in their home stadium. Now they got to go on the road. I understand they're not as good on the road as they are at home, but what I saw out of Minnesota, they should not be +8.5 dogs coming into Iowa, especially what I saw out of last week. I get it. Iowa, it was maybe a look ahead spot here for them, but to barely squeak by that Penn State does concern me, and I just don't think that Iowa is going to win more than a touchdown. Yes, Iowa can win this game and should win this game here at home, but I think this Minnesota team is being overlooked here, especially after last week's win against Nebraska. Give me Minnesota here +8.5 over Iowa here on Saturday, folks. That is your free play. If you're looking for more sports content and free picks like this from Doc Sports, make sure to click this video right here. It'll take you right to it. Once again, I'm Nick Menken with Doc Sports. Best of luck, and as always, best bets.